Hello. Welcome to my 1K special Q&A where I answer your questions about well, anything. Yeah. Most of it is targeted towards my Epic AU, but I will also be answering the others that aren't related to it. So, let's get started. Will I be making more epic animatics? Yes. Bringing dinosaurs. Bringing it all. God, I love that line. Okay, next question. Will all the gods be able to turn into different dinosaurs, and what would their main dinosaur be? I don't really want. I don't really want to say too much because I want to surprise y'all with my choices in my AU. But all I'm gonna allow myself to say is that yes, we will see shape-shifting dinosaurs. After all, I did show y'all Zeus turning into a Quetzalcoatlus in The Horse and the Infant, so yeah. Will I be drawing monsters as dinosaurs? Okay, so the answer is a bit complicated, but let me explain. So yes, I will be drawing them as prehistoric animals, but not all of them are going to be not all of them are going to be dinosaurs. If you look at my first animatics, I already put pterosaurs there, which aren't dinosaurs. And for my AU, it's not going to be time specific, and it's also not going to be era specific. I might go to the time before the dinosaurs. I might get some um Paleozoic animals, and I might even get Cenozoic animals to play some roles, which includes the monsters. Since some monsters are mishmash of a lot of things, I might be taking lots of different creatures and essentially making a sort of chimera out of it. Um, Speaking of something else, one of this is a bit unrelated, but one of my animatics will feature people instead of dinosaurs. I will still be posting the dinosaur version, but like I don't know. I just want to animate humans. What's my favorite dinosaur? Carnotaurus astri. Okay, so will I be animating the entire musical by myself, or will I be looking for other animators to help me? Okay, first things first, I just gotta say that I am so glad that I made you happy. I love you too, Egiyok. I love you too. Mwah. For my answer, I will be animating the entire musical by myself for a couple of reasons. First off, as of now at least, I only animate what I post on YouTube. And if you look through my channel, I I haven't really animated a lot. So, as an aspiring animator, this serves as my practice. I know it's big, but like trust me guys, trust me, I can do it. Second is that if I get animators to help me on actually any sort of project, I would like to pay them accordingly. But the thing is, one, I currently don't have any means of doing that, and two, I don't really have a stable source of income at the moment. So like I can't really I can't really do that. Lastly is because I have my own vision for my AU. Like I've seen a lot of animators and people have their own takes on the musical, and I think it would be nice if I would show my own take on the musical, you know? So that I make something that's me. I show myself to the world. Yeah. What inspired me to turn epic into dinosaurs? Aside from boredom, I just saw this absolutely glorious artwork of sauropods with lightning powers. And I kept hearing Thunderbringer in my mind, so I decided to turn epic characters into dinosaurs. In fact, Zeus was originally going to be a Brontosaurus, but I changed him into a T-Rex, which leads us to the next question. What are the reasons for my casting choices in my AU? Hold on, it is a bit long. I'm gonna write it first. Oh, it's raining. Anyways, so I made Zeus a Tyrannosaurus because aside from being the king of the dinosaurs, I needed something that was big, powerful, and also built like a bear. Because I gotta be honest with you, I imagine Zeus to have the same body type as Maui from Moana, being that he's absolutely ripped, but at the same time has a bit of body fat. Also, I chose the Rex over the original sauropod idea I had because apex predators are often associated with pride. I mean, just look at all the alpha males being more obsessed with them than furry. I am an alpha male. I am the lone wolf. Ow! For Zeus's eagle form, I chose a Quetzalcoatlus because I needed a flying animal that can go well with a T-Rex and is also sleek and powerful. The definitely random, mysterious Anorognathus that definitely isn't significant to the story is based on a definitely normal owl in the musical. Usually, people would depict this owl as either a barn owl or a screech owl, but those two are already associated with other characters. Realistically, it would have been a little owl. And Anorognathus just so happens to be a little fellow with a short snout and big eyes. The Trojan horse is an Edmontosaurus simply because I think it looks like a horse. It even has hooves. In fact, I imagine that I'm not sure if this is confirmed by scientists, but I imagine that the Edmontosaurus would act like horses because it looks like it feels like the same niche as they do. Our main hero and his family are all Deinonychus because Dromaeosaurs are very smart, just like Odysseus and Penelope. And they also often associate them with hawks and wolves. And Telemachus is known in the song Little Wolf. I chose Deinonychus specifically because I needed a small, boxy dinosaur to play the protagonist since he's canonically short, and in shape theory, square shapes equal strong character. Diomedes is a Nanuqsaurus because he's pretty strong, and I thought a Tyrannosaur would fit the role. I chose Nanuqsaurus specifically because it has the bulk of a large Tyrannosaur but small enough to fit inside the Edmontosaurus. Agamemnon is a Pachycephalosaurus because he's a fucking asshole. And while I don't hate Pachys, if I were to think of an asshole dinosaur, Pachycephalosaurus comes to mind. Menelaus was originally gonna be a Sinosauropteryx, but I'll explain that further on the actual Sinosauropteryx character. I made him a Boreal Pelta because not only is it one of the largest, most armored mummified dinosaurs we've ever seen, we also know what color it is. It's red. Menelaus is known for his red hair, so having a badass, giant, spiky red dinosaur to play the role is too big of an opportunity to pass. Teucer is a Struthiomimus because he's an archer, and since he doesn't need that much muscle, I chose a relatively skinny dinosaur for the role. Struthiomimus was the best pick because I could call him Struther. Ajax the Less is a Heterodontosaurus because not only is it small, it also looks like a little gremlin, and little Ajax is known for being a big. Nestor is a Hesperornis because he's old and wise, and the Hesperornis' upright stature with tucked wings and slow movements gives me an impression of an old wise man. Neotolemus is a Sinosauropteryx for many reasons. First one is the same reason why Menelaus was originally gonna be this dinosaur. We know what color it is. It was orange with white tail stripes, just like a red panda. And the reason I gave it to Neo instead of Menelaus is because I imagine Neotolemus to be heterochromatic because he was described to have ruddy hair and blonde eyebrows. And that color combination is very similar to what we have in this dinosaur. Another reason is because he's 10. I don't care if some sources list him as like 17 or 12. He was still in his mom's womb when Achilles left for war, so I figured a small dinosaur best fits the role of a young man. Next up is Astyanax, and our first bonus character, who was not in the original musical, Andromache. They are both Eutyrannus because going back to the Tyrannosaurid symbolism, I needed something that was fierce and powerful. Unlike other Tyrannosaurids, Eutyrannus had a sharper look to it, which is perfect for a dinosaur seeking revenge. Andromachy just has the same species as Astyanax simply because she's his mother. For the other bonus characters, let's start with Anticlus. For context, Helen decided to put her absolutely glorious voice acting skills to use and go around the horse calling to the soldiers in their wives' voices to prove it wasn't a trap. Anticlus missed his wife so much that he almost gave it away if it wasn't for Odysseus shutting him up. I chose a Kentrosaurus because, contrary to popular depictions, it's actually pretty small. And also because Stegosaurus had a tiny brain. Last but not the least is Helen, who was actually a very late addition. In fact, she wasn't even in any of my original storyboards. I just put her in because the background felt a bit empty and I felt it was too soon after the war for the soldiers to collect in front of the gates. I made her an Anzu, which is the second largest Oviraptorid that we know of. It's been a while since I watched her videos. I had the impression that Oviraptorids were colorful because they had crests on their heads, which is often used as a display structure in modern birds. Also, being one of the largest Oviraptorids, it would make it easier to notice so she can really launch 1,000 ships with her beauty. On an unrelated note, making characters tall so their beauty is more noticeable is actually also my basis for my Aphrodite design. Forgot to mention this. In some stories, Helen was stated to be born from a swan's egg. And if I were to think of a dinosaur that closely resembles a swan, it would be an Oviraptorid. For the rest of the characters, I don't want to say too much because I might accidentally spoil a part of my AU. But if you look at the species I choose and listen to the musical, their parts in the musical, you might know where I'm going with this. This is a bit of a late addition, but one of my friends wanted to ask me a question. Would you skibidi the toilet or would you toilet the skibidi? So that marks the end of our Q&A. Thank you so much for helping me reach 1K. It really means a lot to me. I didn't expect to be that popular in a week. So yeah, thank you so much. My next animatic will be not in the Dinodyssey AU because I'm testing out the animation feature in one of my existing art softwares. But if I don't like it, I'm gonna go back to OpenToons. That's when I would start animating full speed ahead as dinosaurs. So look forward to those two animatics. Thank you. Bye bye.